And now we'll talk about the 10th World Water Forum that is held in Bali, especially in the Bali Convention Center from 18th until 25th of May. So this is the segment of the 10th World Water Forum. With the first news, President Joko Widodo engaged in a bilateral meeting with Fiji President William Maivalili Kantowiravir on the sidelines of the 10th World Water Forum and highlighted 3 points on the meeting.
After bilateral meeting with Fiji President William Maivalili Kantowiravir on the sidelines of the 10th World Water Forum in Bali on Monday, President Joko Widodo reveals 3 points that has been deliberated during the meeting. The first point revolved around development partnerships. The former governor of Jakarta hoped that the Regional Agricultural Training Center in Raki-Raki could be used to propel research, innovation, and partnerships in a bid to achieve food security. The second point centered on cooperation between communities. President Joko Widodo lauded the launch of the Fiji-Indonesia Friendship Association Forum last March. And the third point was cooperation in the Pacific. The president emphasized Indonesia's commitment to continue advocating for the aspirations and interests of the Pacific in various forums. Indonesia is also committed to fostering cooperation, particularly through the Melanesian Spearhead Group, or MSG, and the Pacific Island Forum, or PIF, based on the principle of mutual respect, including respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity. He further called for mutually beneficial cooperation. According to the president, as a fellow Pacific country, Fiji is a key partner for Indonesia in making the Pacific region a peaceful, stable, and prosperous region. Meanwhile, in the same statement, Fijian President William Maivalili Kantowiravir highlighted Indonesia's transformation and congratulated Jokowi on his leadership.
Now, to find out more from the latest updates from the World Water Forum in Bali, let's go to Siska Becker in Bali.
Greetings from Bali Nusa Dua Convention Center. We are continuing our coverage of the 10th World Water Forum right here on TVRI World, and today is the 4th day of the forum. After a series of monumental events such as the gala dinner, and then the opening ceremony, and also the serene and beautiful visit to Tahura Mangrove Forest by state leaders and delegates, the 4th day kicks off with a series of high-level meetings, including the ministerial meeting. Now that meeting was attended by speakers, Minister of Public Works and Public Housing, Basuki Hadi Mulyono, and Coordinating Minister of Maritime Affairs and Investment, Luhut Binsar Panjaitan. Now we have a very encouraging development coming out of that ministerial meeting. Let's have a listen, have a look to find out more.
Basuki conveys that the discussion of the declaration was conducted through several mechanisms at the UNESCO headquarters in Paris since November of the previous year. In the declaration, Indonesia proposed 3 main priorities. Firstly, the establishment of a center of excellence for water and climate resilience to develop capacity for knowledge sharing and utilize superior facilities. As an archipelago country, Indonesia must take the lead in water and sanitation. The Center of Excellence is not only for Indonesia, but also for countries in the South-South Cooperation or the Asia-Pacific region. Secondly, raising the issue of integrated water resource management, particularly on small islands. Although surrounded by vast waters, Basuki says Indonesia still requires a good management system to ensure clean water quality. Thirdly, the proposal of a World Lake Day. Lakes, as a source of water supply sustaining human life with social and economic functions, need to be commemorated. This is not merely symbolic but becomes a key factor in preserving lakes worldwide. Lakes also serve as a natural reservoirs. As humans, we can extend the lifespan of lakes, which is why World Lake Day is important, he says. Additionally, Basuki informs that Indonesia succeeded in compiling a list of water-related flagship projects from various countries, totaling 113 projects worth $9.4 billion US. These includes, among others, the project to accelerate the provision of drinking water for millions of households and the domestic wastewater treatment project for hundreds of thousands of households. These various projects will be highly beneficial in many countries.
Sulit percaya kalau tidak melihat sendiri betapa hebatnya Indonesia saat ini dan mereka mengagumi Tahura yang betul-betul pemerintah itu sampai di.
So there you have it. The ministerial meeting have ratified a declaration that serves as a concrete result of the 10th World Water Forum, and it proves of Indonesia's diplomacy skills right here at the forum. Now, Minister Basuki also shares some other encouraging facts about the forum here in Bali. Let's learn more.
Basuki remarked the declaration covers the issue of the right to access safe drinking water and sanitation, the importance of inclusive coordination and collaboration, as well as strengthening integrated water resource management policies. Indonesia has several proposals for water development, such as the establishment of a Center of Excellence for Water and Climate Security, the designation of World Lakes Day through a UN resolution, and mainstreaming water management issues for developing countries on small islands are also adopted in the declaration. In addition, the 10th WWF Concrete Action Compendium, which is an inseparable part of the declaration, was also adopted. According to Basuki, the compendium includes 113 projects in the water and sanitation sector, with a total value of $9.4 billion US. He also remarked that the declaration was adopted after being approved by all participating countries and by accommodating inputs regarding the implementation of the results of the forum in the future, as submitted during the ministerial meeting by the Republic of Congo. The proposal from Congo highlights the important role of water as the basis of the blue economy that unlocks potential human development through the benefits derived from marine and water resources and prevents vulnerable population from being marginalized. The Republic of the Congo also proposes emphasizing efforts to encourage innovation and access to new financial instruments in order to strengthen the transition to sustainable development, as well as the development of projects related to the water economy to strengthen sustainable water management. Basuki therefore expressed gratitude for the participation and inputs from the delegates of the 10th WWF that can enrich the ministerial declaration and its compendium.
Mereka mengagumi Tahura yang betul-betul pemerintah itu sampai di.
Now, the media center on the fourth day of the forum was absolutely buzzing with a string of press conferences featuring high-profile speakers. One of them actually presented the president of the World Water Council, Mr. Loic Fouchon. He was very generous with his time and also in his praises of the forum here in Bali, which he again repeatedly said how much he enjoyed the atmosphere in Bali and how much he appreciates the organization of the forum by the Indonesian government. Now, I had the opportunity and privilege to speak directly to Mr. Loic Fouchon after the press conference, and I asked him also directly about what he thinks of the forum and of the island, and also about the young people of Indonesia. And here's what he said.
Hello, good afternoon. Selamat sore Pak Usman Kansong, terima kasih banyak untuk kesempatannya. I'm Siska Becker from TVRI World. Bonjour, Monsieur Fouchon. Thank you so much for your appreciation of World Water Forum and for Bali as well. We truly appreciate your enthusiasm for the Island of the Gods. Thank you. Now my question is, as the world reach the population of 8 billion people in 2024, water scarcity and equal access to clean water and sanitation have been a dire issue for a lot of countries in the world. Now, what will be the proposed approach by the World Water Council to tackle this global challenge? Is there a way to reach a global consensus in reaching an integrated and sustainable water management solution? Thank you.
How long do you give me to answer the question?
Up to you. You have all the time in the world
No,
right now.
very shortly. You know, everything is connected to water security. And in Indonesia also. What does it mean? Water security on one hand, to be able to propose more water and more sanitation, which needs infrastructure and needs also more infrastructures and need also to be able to maintain the infrastructure. It's very important. So propose in the future in each country, in each region, in each cities, more quantity of water, on one hand. On the other hand, be able to consume better and less. Obviously, for those who have water. For others, we need to fight to bring them access to water. What does it mean? It means that we are entering in an era of sobriety. Sobriety will be a very important word during the next years and decades. Because everywhere, quite everywhere, you could avoid to waste water. Here also in Bali, but here you have quite sufficient quantity of water. But in some countries which are more arid, also you need to have economy of water for agriculture, for industry, and for domestic use. So these are the balance which will help us to move to this sobriety. But in the same time, which is difficult, there is also another balance between water for humankind and water for nature. Keep water for nature. Keep water for biodiversity. Keep water for ecosystem. That's the deal. And that's on which we will work not only during this week, because the battle will begin after, during the last months and years, and I will say a few words about this cooperation between Indonesia and the World Water Council in the future.
Another high-level meeting that was very much attended by most of the participants here at the fourth day of the 10th World Water Forum was a session held by the UN. And one of the speakers at that forum, at that discussion panel, was the Executive Secretary of the United Nations of Economic and Social Commission for Asia and Pacific. Now, I also had the privilege and opportunity to speak directly to Ibu Armida Ali Shahbana. And during our short conversation, she emphasized how much of the complex nature of water and sanitation issues have become a global priority. Now let's hear more of what she said during that conversation.
Ali Shahbana highlights that achieving Sustainable Development Goals number 6 or SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, is becoming more daunting as various regions face escalating water scarcity, pollution and infrastructure deficiencies. The fundamental necessity of clean water goes beyond fulfilling the basic needs of people. It also encompasses the protection of ecosystems, the mitigation of health risks, and the enhancements of livelihoods.
Well, yeah, of course. I think the theme, yeah, of this 10th World Water Forum is water for shared prosperity, right? Water for shared prosperity. I think priorities of water and sanitation, but also bearing in mind that the impact, yeah, of climate change and climate-induced disaster exacerbated these water-related problems, yeah, like water scarcity. That water scarcity can become crisis, right? And also, although it's not specifically mentioned here, water is also important or related to peace, especially transboundary water issues. Yeah, maybe not so much for Indonesia, but for many countries in the region, Asia Pacific, this is indeed an issue. So better transboundary water management is also of priority.
Addressing these challenges is crucial for the health, well-being, and the development of population worldwide. The significance of clean water and sanitation encapsulated in SDG 6 is increasingly pressing, reflecting broader concerns about environmental sustainability, public health, and geopolitical stability.
Water, yeah, I think water is certainly hugely important, yeah, for all countries, including Indonesia, a big country with big population, and so therefore, how also to accelerate, especially we would advocate, yeah, as it relates to SDG 6, yeah, on actually not only water, but water and sanitation. Yeah, so I have yet to get the latest update on the progress on Indonesia on SDG 6, but I think this is a big homework. Yeah, so how by 2030, at the very latest, then Indonesia could achieve 100% in terms of clean water and also sanitation. As well as water efficiency, yeah. But related to this, yeah, actually, it's not only about accessibility in terms of quantity, the volume of water, yeah, but also increasingly important on the quality of water because of issue of pollution, water pollution, and hence the waterborne diseases and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Ali Shahbana sees that this forum serves as a global platform for stakeholders, including governments, international organizations, civil society, and the private sector to discuss, deliberate, and devise strategies to address water-related challenges. Ali Shahbana underscores that the forum is not just about recognizing the problems, but also about fostering collaboration solutions that are innovative, sustainable, and inclusive.
For example, in the case of Indonesia.
On top of all the meetings and discussions, Indonesia, as host of the 10th WWF, have also been very active in cementing partnerships with different countries. So overall, a very productive day today on the 4th day of the 10th WWF. Hopefully all these meetings and discussions can spark a momentum for world countries to revitalize their commitment in reaching a global consensus on having an integrated and sustainable water management solutions. I'm Siska Becker, together with camera person Adri Handira, reporting to you from Nusa Dua, Bali. Back to the studio.
Well, thank you so much, Siska Becker, for that report. And I believe, from this World Water Forum that is happening in Bali, that it has successfully grabbed the attention of the world of how important this water crisis is happening at the moment.
Yes,
and there are so much to be done, and that all countries have to work together to manage this crisis.
Yeah, as you said, this is like a most right moment to attract attention from the world, because the most prestigious forum about water is held in the biggest archipelagic state. That's like a match made in heaven. And even though we are the biggest archipelagic state, we cannot stand alone. That's what the Minister Sandiaga also quoted from the President Jokowi, that we cannot stand alone. We must collaborate with all the other countries, neighboring countries, about this water crisis, scarcity, and so on, to make water a better a commodity for all the world.
And I also like to add what the president of the World Water Council have said, that we are all, even as individuals,
Yes, that's right.
we are water warriors.
Yeah, water warriors.
And
of
we need
course.
to remind ourselves that water is for nature, water is for biodiversity. So it is our duty to make sure that we can make clean water and we do not pollute water anymore.
Yeah, that's right. And that's all for the 10th World Water Forum segment. And we'll now move on to the next news. The United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific has highlighted 2 measures that could help ensure that seasonal water scarcity, drought, and water-related disasters do not turn into rolling crises.
Good afternoon.
Under-Secretary General of the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific, Armida Alice Shahbana, said on Tuesday, highlighting 2 measures that could help ensure that seasonal water scarcity, drought, and water-related disasters do not turn into rolling crisis. The first measure is cooperation in shared water sources by enhancing collaborative efforts between countries, regions, sectors, and stakeholders. She explained that collaborative actions that bring mitigation, adaptation, and disaster risk reduction agendas may also help narrow financing gaps. According to her, the unmet adaptation financing needs are estimated by ESCAP at $144.74 billion annually, on average, for Asia and the Pacific alone. The second measure is to prevent a water crisis is by investment in data systems for disaster early warning systems. She pointed out that better data for effective early warning systems can decrease disaster loss by up to 60%. At the direction of governments in the Asia-Pacific region, the UN system is coming together to deliver multi-hazard early warning systems. ESCAP, the UN Office for Disaster Risk Education, the World Meteorological Organization, the International Telecommunication Union, and the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies are all working together for this.